Hey everyone, Cinephile Mike is here, and it is your second video drop for today, and it is the penultimate episode, episode 73 of season 1 of Oscar Rewind, my bi-weekly series of videos where I revisit the films that reflect the work of this past year's Oscar nominees and winners. As always, I'll be discussing the awards history for the film, the box office information, the critical response, and as always, these reviews will be spoiler free. You can find all older episodes here on the YouTube channel. You can check out my website, cinephilemike.com, for lots of great additional print reviews and information. Before I dive in under the sea, see what I did there? Please click that subscribe button right there up in the corner. Like this video, drop me a comment, join the conversation, come engage with me. I can't wait to talk film with all of you. Today's film has some significance with this week, actually, when I'm dropping it. I'm going to get there in a moment. But today, and not for the first time this season, I am discussing Studio Ghibli film. Today it's Ponyo. The original was written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki, who I have discussed on awards because of The Boy and the Heron, and I did Spirited Away back at the beginning. I think it was like day 3 or 4, so I'm kind of bookending a little bit with the Miyazaki. And the English dubbed version, as we have for most of his films, was directed by the team. And for those of you Pixar fans out there, you'll know these names. Was directed by John Lasseter, Brad Lewis, and Peter Sohn. This film was a massive box office success, according to our usual source, Box Office Mojo. Apparently, the film had a reported budget of $34 million. And while it only made less than half domestically, making 16,543,471 as of this recording and posting, between its original release in 2008 and all of the re-releases that it's had within the past 16 years, the international take for the film sits at $189,322,717, resulting in this film currently sitting with a worldwide take of $205,913,329. Whew! And because Studio Ghibli does a film festival every year that we re-release the films and these screenings get sold out because people love to see these on the big screen, this number is just going to continue to keep growing year after year. Critically, as per Rotten Tomatoes, the film was well received with a 91% critical rating coming from 174 reviews and a popcorn score of 83% culled from over 50,000 ratings. So, another well received one like your episode 1 drop today, Blancanieves. So, why is this film on Rewind this season? Well, I've discussed it. Miyazaki. He received his second Academy Award this year for The Boy and the Heron, and also for one of the trio, though, that I referenced who was part of this directing team. Peter Sohn, who directed the English language dub version of Ponyo, who, after many years of directing and working on Walt Disney Pixar films, Sohn received his first Oscar nomination this past year as the director of Pixar's Elemental, which was nominated for and lost to The Boy and the Heron. Ponyo had its own small awards season upon its release, winning the award for the Best Animated Film and the Best Film Score at the awards of the Japanese Academy. The film was nominated for 2 Annie Awards, directing in a feature production and music in a feature production, and also won all 5 of its awards that it was nominated for at the Tokyo Anime Awards, including Best Art Direction, Best Original Story, Notable Entry for Domestic Feature Film, Best Director, and Animation of the Year. This was on top of several other nominations and or wins at smaller domestic and international film festivals. Also, and this now kind of might negate that best original story. In many ways, Ponyo is actually loosely based on Hans Christian Andersen's classic story, The Little Mermaid, hence my under the sea joke. And that's why I put it here on Rewind, because depending on how much movie history you follow, just over 35 years ago, on November 17th, 1989, Disney hit their renaissance and rebirth when Ariel swam across our screens and they released The Little Mermaid, which brought us back to the Disney golden era. So, fun fact there. And another fun fact, if you need something for trivia night, according to several sources, Ponyo was the first Studio Ghibli and produced directed by Miyazaki film that was released on Blu-ray here in the States. First Blu-ray of a Ghibli film was Ponyo. As I dive into the summary, and I talk about actors, I'm actually going to focus on the English dubbed version cast because that was the version of this that I watched. I did watch both, but I want to talk about the American cast a little, the English cast in this, not American, English cast. So here we go. Ponyo tells the story of Sosuke, voiced by Frankie Jonas, a young boy about 5, 6 years old who lives in a small seaside town in Japan. One day by the seaside, he finds a small glass jar that contains a small, almost like goldfish like creature. Upon breaking the jar to free the creature, whom he names Ponyo, he cuts his finger. Ponyo, in goldfish form, who will come to be voiced by Noah Cyrus when she turns human, licks the wound, kind of absorbing some human magic, and instantly heals Suzuki. He then keeps Ponyo as a friend in Little Fishbowl, and what he doesn't know, though, is that deep in the depths of the ocean, gets a Little Mermaid quote, sort of, Ponyo, whose real name's actually Brunhilde, her father, Fujimoto, voiced by Liam Neeson, is seeking her as she swam away from her family and went up out of the sea's depths, which she was not supposed to do, but she's fascinated by the surface world. Now, using the power of the ocean, Fujimoto recalls Brunhilde back to the sea. Now, this upsets both Suzuki, as he's now lost his friend, and Ponyo, because she doesn't want to be home and go by the name Brunhilde. She only wants to be called Ponyo. She wants to be on the surface. She wants to be human. She wants to be Suzuki. And now, remember, she took that little bit of blood. It actually now, with them, sea magic turns her human. Complicating matters, upon the use of the spirits that Fujimoto used to bring Ponyo home, it has now created a bit of a dangerous storm across southern Japan. Now, taking matters into her own hands when she can, Ponyo uses magic that she doesn't quite understand to turn herself human to get back to Suzuki, which leads to a natural imbalance resulting in tsunami like now proportions. And once back, Suzuki and his mother Lisa, voiced by Tina Fey, they take her in and the two form a friendship. However, the sequence of events that we've gone through to get here has put the country at risk. Is this relationship destined to destroy the world? Fujimoto does go to see Ponyo's mother, Grand Mamare, voiced by Kate Blanchett, for help, but will it be in time? Mm. This is a fun little movie that pays homage to its source material quite nicely. And as with most Miyazaki films, they're a wonder to behold with the fluid animation style, only made more vivid that there's so much water in this one. And taking the romantic element of the story out between our two protagonists, well, sort of. I don't want to get into I won't go too deep yet. I'll let you think of that if you watch it. But it really allows this film to live in a state of wonder and imagination. I mean, when Ponyo keeps using the power to help her and Sasuke in a variety of situations, there's almost this little, almost like a Harold in the Purple Crayon kind of feel that makes you think like anything is possible despite the tragedies it may bring. And I'm on board for it. The English voice cast is very talented and they infuse these characters. Really, there's not a bad performance in the mix. They infuse just the right amount of heart and humor to move the story along, even at its weaker points. Voice casting director Natalie Lyon knew exactly what the assignment was, as she crafted the likes, bringing on the younger Jonas and Cyrus. Faye's dry comic timing is always a delight to hear. Blanchett's smooth alto, as per usual. It's almost like she's singing her dialogue, which is kind of fitting that her character glides through the ocean. And I have to say, the music, the score is gorgeous, and it's so easy to see why Joe Hisaishi received so much recognition, the awards and the wins. I mean, in addition to the film awards, the music was the one thing that was the most recognized, and it's clear why. It's that almost magical music that we hear in Disney films, or like a I don't know why I'm going to Willy Wonka, but like that magic, that lightness. And then, when we have to get serious, we feel foreboding. It's like the music was almost like another character here. My biggest complaint with the film, and it's odd that I say this because the film is only an hour and 40 minutes, it does at times feel a little long, like they could have shaved maybe 10 minutes or so off. Um, because there are some sequences, while they're visually stunning, they're a bit repetitive to the point where I didn't feel we needed them. It's like if we've established that there's a tense moment happening, we got it. We don't need to see it from multiple people's perspectives. But again, if that's my biggest complaint, look, there's a lot here for this film. And as always, heart wins. Ponyo, in all, wrapping it up, is a delightful, visually stunning 4-star film for me. Now, if you would like to catch Ponyo, it is currently streaming on Max. You would think Disney, as it's Disney Plus or Hulu, because the film was released on disc by Disney Studios, but it seems majority of Miyazaki films are streaming on the Max platform. So there you have it. This was your double dose of Rewind. This episode 73 is the penultimate episode. I hope you will join me on Friday for the season finale when I discuss one of my favorite Best Picture Oscar winners of all time. High stakes. Again, if you like what you heard here, please do me that favor. Click that subscribe button, click the like button, spread the word, get people to join in. We have a new goal. Here's the goal. By the end of season 3, the 97 days, by the time we get to March 2nd, I'm trying to hit 200 subscribers. So I'm at about, I think, 147 right now. Can you help me get those other 53? I think you can. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd. Check out lots of great stuff on my website, cinephilemike.com. Happy watching, everyone. And until next time, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.